So we've all gotten pretty used to teaching online, right? But here's the thing. Are we truly reaching every single student? Today, we're going to move beyond the basics and dive into something really crucial: specialized pedagogy. It's all about making sure no learner gets left behind in the virtual classroom.
So let's just dive right in with this question. Is your online classroom really built for everyone? I mean, it seems like a simple question, but the answer, well, it's pretty complex. We've all mastered the tools, the video calls, the shared docs, but have we figured out how to meet the unique needs of every single learner staring back at us through a screen?
Because the reality is, the real digital divide isn't just about who has a laptop and who doesn't. The real gap is often in our pedagogy, in how we teach. A one-size-fits-all approach online, it doesn't just fall short. It can actually make inequalities worse, leaving some students behind even when their Wi-Fi is perfect.
And that right there is where this whole idea of specialized pedagogy comes in. It's about making a conscious choice to move beyond the general best practices and get into teaching that's way more targeted, way more intentional, and, let's be honest, way more effective.
Okay, so what does that even mean? Well, think of specialized pedagogy as both an art and a science. It's all about tailoring your online teaching, your methods, your materials, everything, to meet the very distinct needs of specific groups of students. We're not just talking about tweaking a lesson here and there. It's about redesigning your whole approach with a particular learner in mind, right from the very start.
This slide has a fantastic way of looking at it. Think of a generalist teacher, kind of like your family doctor, your GP. They're amazing for common needs, and they know all the broad best practices. But a specialist teacher? They're like a cardiologist or a neurologist. They bring this deep, targeted expertise to handle really complex needs with absolute precision, using strategies backed by evidence.
And this really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? True mastery in the online classroom, the kind that creates those aha moments for students. It's not just about being good at the general stuff. It's about building deep, specialized expertise.
All right, let's make this real. We're going to look at our first case study, teaching students with special needs in an online setting. Now, this is a perfect example of where those general strategies can really start to break down.
I mean, think about it. The challenges are huge. How do you keep a student with ADHD focused through a computer screen? How do you give a multi-sensory experience when everything is flat and digital? You've got to adapt materials, build a real community, integrate assistive tech. These aren't just minor adjustments. They require a totally specialized skill set.
So what's the specialist's playbook here? Well, first off, they integrate assistive tech like text-to-speech right into their lessons. Second, they build truly personalized learning paths with goals and assignments that are actually flexible. And this one is so important. They establish structured, predictable routines. That consistency creates a sense of safety and calm in what can be a chaotic virtual world.
Okay, now let's switch gears and look at another area where this is just absolutely critical: supporting our English learners online. The challenges here are different, but the need for a specialized approach is just as intense.
For an English learner, being online can feel like being on an island. They're trying to build academic vocabulary without being immersed in the language. They need materials that actually reflect their culture, and they desperately need chances to just talk with their peers. Just throwing them into a Zoom call and hoping for the best, that's just not going to cut it.
So the specialist teachers, they have a whole different bag of tricks for this. They lean heavily on visuals and multimedia to make abstract ideas concrete. They use virtual breakout rooms, but not just for any old group work. It's for targeted, low-stakes language practice. And they scaffold everything, providing tools like sentence starters and glossaries to build up confidence and lower that anxiety.
These two examples are huge, for sure, but they're really just scratching the surface. The need for this kind of laser-focused expertise is growing fast, and it's literally shaping the future of online education as we speak. Because it's not just about special ed and English learners. That's really just the tip of the iceberg. Just below the surface, there are so many other groups of students who need a specially tailored approach to really succeed online. And we are seeing this field just explode with new specializations. It's not just about the course subjects anymore. We're talking about creating incredible online programs for gifted and talented students, or figuring out how to teach hands-on STEM stuff through a screen. And this last one is so important: trauma-informed pedagogy. That's about creating digital spaces that are fundamentally safe and supportive. Wow. Each one of these needs a totally unique skill set.
So, what's the bottom line here? It's pretty simple, really.
If we want to build digital classrooms that are not only effective, but also equitable, the only way forward is through specialized training. It's the key that unlocks the true potential of online learning for every single student, no matter who they are or how they learn. And that leaves us with one last thing for you to think about. As our world keeps changing, and as we learn more and more about learning itself, what do you think the next essential teaching specialty is going to be? What new student need is just over the horizon, waiting for a new generation of experts? It's a pretty exciting thing to think about, right? Thanks for joining me.